Gonna pay off my student loan.
Fix my credit.
No more paying my bills late.
Fix my credit.
I need a better interest rate.
Fix my credit.
Bad credit is gone way too far.
Fix my credit.
I need a brand new car.
Fix my credit.
Hold on, don't give in.
Fix my credit.
Hey, in the end, you're gonna win.
Fix my
Yeah. Gonna buy that brand new home.
Fix my credit.
Yeah. Gonna pay out my student loan.
Fix my credit.
No more paying my bills late.
Fix my credit.
I need a better interest rate.
Fix my credit.
Yeah, my credit is going way too
Fix my
far.
credit.
Oh, I even need a brand new car.
Fix my credit.
Yeah, oh no, don't give in.
Fix my credit.
Welcome, everybody. Hold on, don't give in. Welcome on across the country, around the world to the Credit Doctor. I'm Casacello James, the credit expert, your host on tonight. So welcome so much to the live credit show. There's no other show on social media like this show. So tonight, it's going to be a very informative show. It's going to be a great show. You're going to learn a lot. So I suggest that you get a pen and a paper. But first off, let's get first things out of the way. I need you to like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Welcome on Instagram, welcome on Facebook, and welcome on YouTube. To all of my first-time viewers, hello, welcome. This is a credit show. This is the credit show. We talk about credit. We also talk about finances, and I'm going to touch a little bit tonight about business credit, some great opportunities that I have coming up. So welcome on Instagram again, Facebook, and YouTube. But if you have not subscribed on YouTube, simply type in Exceptional, this right here that you see behind me, Exceptional Credit Repair LLC, and then hit the subscribe button and that little bell. It looks like you can ring my bell. Hit that little bell, and then so you'll get the notification so you won't never miss a show. All right. So we're live tonight. I'm going to try to keep this show. Everybody's like super excited about tonight's show. Actually, the cooking show will be back every first of the month. All right. It is a lot trying to cook and talk about credit, but I wanted to get back to my desk and back to my seat so I can really talk about credit and really get your questions in on tonight. Ask me any question about credit that you want to. Maybe there's some things that you're getting ready to do. You're surviving in the pandemic. Can you say that with me? You're surviving in the pandemic. You're being blessed in the pandemic. I have some great news about August and September that I'm going to tell you about and show you. So you still can be blessed. I know many people have lost people in the COVID-19 and all of that stuff. And incidentally, I saw something. Now, I'll tell you one thing I'm not doing. I'm not taking that Johnson & Johnson vaccine, because they was talking about people had blood clots and all of that stuff. And I personally had double knee surgery back when. And one thing the doctor told me when I was having my double knee surgery is about hematoma. You know, when your blood stop up and all of that stuff, you medical people understand that. So, but I tell you what, I am not under no circumstances taking the JJ, the Johnson & Johnson. All right. So I can't fool with Johnson & Johnson. Ain't no slight to them. But welcome to everybody. Lisa is in the house. Welcome, my sister. Lisa's in the house. Mr. Fletcher has been rocking with me from day one. Thank you so much for joining me. There go my girl, my secretary, my online secretary. Sheila, how are you, dear heart? Thank you so much. Yeah, stay away from Johnson & Johnson. This ain't no bashing them. It's just I saw it on CNN. All right. Lord, there go bruh. What's going on, bruh? What's going on? I wanted it for free, but he wouldn't give it to me. What's going on, bruh? All right. They said, you feel good tonight? Yeah, I feel good. All right. I feel wonderful tonight. YouTube, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're on, we need to get those YouTube numbers up. Surprisingly, I had about 6 or 7, I think it was, I ain't gonna embellish. It was, I think, about 6 people that subscribed. Thank you so much for all the new subscribers and all of that stuff. I've heard good things about, talking about the vaccine. I've heard good things about Pfizer and the Moderna, whatever it's called, Moderna, Minerva, whatever it is. All right. But if I have my choice, I'm going to go with the Pfizer. Now I have not made up my mind. That's my business, whether or not I'm going to get it or not. If the Lord lead me to, I'm going to put it like that, then I'll get it and I'll let you know. But as of right now, I feel good. I feel good down in my soul. That's an old Pentecostal song. So I feel okay right now. All right. Welcome, Shasta. Right. Welcome to everybody that's viewing me. Listen, comment. If you have a question, don't be afraid. Nobody's going to rat you out if it sounds crazy. It's okay, to ask questions. So we're here tonight. I'm going to try to do this show in 30, max 40 minutes. I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to try. All right. So I want to talk about tonight, simply what you see across the screen, 100 points boost on my credit report. 100 points boost on my credit report. I have had several clients throughout the years. I've been doing this 2 decades. That's 20 plus. All right. So I've been in business for over 33 years, cutting hair and doing all of that good stuff. So I've been in business, man. Anybody that know my story, I started out with business credit first, then personal, because I got paid a lot in cash and stuff like that, especially in the 80s, early 80s and 90s. We was, reckoning a lot of cash, and we're still doing good and doing, still blessed. But for the most part, as a barber and a hairstylist, I was used to cash, and then some of my other side businesses and different things of that nature. So I started out, my journey was business credit first, then personal. I didn't have a lot of stuff because I never was a person to go out and make a whole lot of debt. My mom just didn't do that. My mom growing up raised me. She was a businesswoman. She was a straightforward, straight up type of woman. And so my mom didn't borrow or beg from anybody. So if we couldn't afford it, we couldn't buy it, we didn't get it. All right. Because we didn't like people in our business anyway. That's old school. All right. So at the end of the day, I'm going to show you how I have 10 steps. You need to write this down or keep watching the video and watching the show over and over. These are 10 steps that will help you. I promise you, this is not a figment of your imagination. This is not no hypothesis. This is stuff that has worked for decades that I'm going to go over with you. But again, I just want to reiterate this right here. I want you to go to YouTube. I know there's people on Facebook and there's people on Instagram and all of that good stuff. But I want you, if you will, for me, just help a brother out and go to YouTube. All right. And just hit that like the videos, and because you like the shows and all of that. And subscribe to the channel. I need you to subscribe and then share and hit the notification bell so you won't have to, because y'all so lazy when it come down. A lot of people are so lazy when it come down to, they still ask me what time you come on. I've been coming on 9 o'clock for almost 4 years now. It doesn't seem that long, but it really has. All right. So I want to get right into it. The first thing that we're going to talk about, this is your checklist. All right. So call it checklist. Let me write that down. All right. So this is your checklist. I like capital stuff. All right. This is your checklist. All right. On how to get a credit boost. All right. All right. This is what we're going to do. All right, this is your checklist on how to get a credit boost. This is your checklist on how to get a credit boost. All right. Now, the first thing that I'm going to start, it's a new segment that I'm going to have, and you're going to hear me say this a lot for the rest of the year. You can't afford it. You can't afford it. All right. You can't afford it. If you cannot afford it, do not apply for it. That was worth tuning in tonight. Some of you keep applying for stuff you know you can't afford. You cannot afford a Bentley. Why would you apply for it? You cannot afford a mini mansion. Why would you apply for it? Let me type that in too. Now, if you can afford it, this ain't for you, but for the rest of us. You can't afford it. Bam. All right. That's my new segment. I'm gonna wear that out. You can't afford it because some of the stuff that you're trying to get is messing you up on your credit profile. All right. Now, thank you, Sheila. You can't afford it. You can't afford it. So you know the stuff, you already know the things you can't afford because you buy it, you deal with it. You can afford to put gas in your car. You can afford to pay your rent, prayerfully, hopefully. And you can afford to buy food, prayerfully, hopefully. You can afford to buy your shoes and all of that stuff, but you do not need some shoes that's going to run you or set you back. You paying $5,000 for the shoes. Well, I needed a shopping spree. You just messed yourself up. You can't afford it. You need to hear that in your spirit, regurgitate that in your spirit. Stop saying all that crazy stuff and the positive confessions. You can speak positive confessions all you want to, but faith without the right works is dead. You got to put the right ingredients in the cake in order for it to taste good and come out. It's the worst thing that you can do is make that good old timey old fashioned chocolate cake and put the wrong ingredients in it. You got to have some eggs. You're going to have some eggs. You're going to have that flour, so you can do all that other new stuff, but I'm talking about the old fashioned way. All right. So know the stuff you can afford and the stuff that you can't afford. Now, the first thing, number one, on our checklist, this is what's going to boost your credit. This is possible. I'm going to help you if you're trying to clear up some stuff and you're getting ready to dispute stuff tonight, tomorrow, whenever. This is what you need to know besides my book. All right. You need to have this. The dispute letters are in the book. The dispute letters are in the book. So all you got to do is just copy stuff down and just mail it in. Code 1681. Please notify me within 30 days. Thank you. All right. To keep this account on my credit file is illegal and I'm pursuing legal action. Do not put this through the eOscar credit system. Delete all of these inquiries and accounts that are negative immediately. Do not put this through the system called eOscar. If you read the book, you will understand what eOscar is. You need to get this book. This is your credit Bible. Wonderful book, nice book. I dedicated this book to my mom. All right. So this book is on Amazon.com. For all of you that keep asking me on Twitter, Twiki, all that stuff, Instagram, the book is on Amazon.com. Just because you bought one book, you need another one. All right. Because the minute somebody asks me, can I borrow some money? I hand them this book. Can you co-sign? I hand them this book. All right. Ain't that wonderful? Just keep on with this. It's going to take you from earth to glory. Now, the first one on the credit checklist, how to boost your credit. Number one, remove all negative accounts. All right. Remove all negative accounts. That's number one. All right. Remove all negative accounts. Remove all negative accounts from your credit report. It doesn't matter the time frame. It might take you 30 days. It might take you 60 days. It might take you 90 days. It might take you 120 days, 4 months, whatever it is. It might take you 5 months. You need to the first thing that you need to do is assess, look at Credit Karma, look at Experian.com, whatever your particular credit monitoring site is, look at that. Assess the damage, because a lot of times most people like to see when they see just a few accounts, they keep assuming that my credit is not that bad. Just because you have 5 accounts and this person over here has 34 accounts, bad is bad. All right. A little bit of cancer can kill you just like a lot of cancer can. All right. So number one is remove all negative accounts. You need to move. Some of you are not getting that. You still see items that are derogatory. When you look at that category on Credit Karma, I'm going to use Credit Karma because I like their platform. I'm not talking about the scoring system. I'm talking about their credit, how they have it set up. All right. So when you look to the right, if you at your computer or your laptop or what have you, you'll see something that says derogatory. Once you see those derogatory accounts, it doesn't matter that you paying them now on time, but you previously was late the whole year of 2019, the whole year of 2018. That is still affecting your credit. What's up, Gayla? What's up, Gayla? What's up? So it is still affecting your credit. You got to be careful that you thinking that, hey, just because, they took off the late payment within the company, you think that you're okay, but you still need that account. I push to have it completely removed. You want it to look as if it never, ever was on your credit report. All right. So you need to make sure that you remove it. Push for deletion, remove, same thing. All right. So you want to delete it off your credit report. This is our checklist to get you 100 points, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Some of you will get 200 points. Some of you will get 300 points. And we're going to tie all this together. So the first thing that you want to do is remove all negative accounts from your credit report. The second thing, or actually I put it number 2, but I should have put it number 1. The second thing I have on my list is pay your bills on time. Some of you are still messing up because you feel like it's the pandemic and you feel like this is your get out of jail card, and I ain't got to pay no rent, that's how y'all say it. I ain't got to pay no rent. And you know what? I got my stimulus check, but because I see them every day. They in the mall shopping, still, doing this, that, and the other. And I'm not saying don't get your hair done, but I suggest, and I'm a barber. So if you got to pay your rent, pay your rent. Come get your hair done later, because at the end of the day, when the money run out, you're not going to have a place to stay. And you can't come live with me. Never. Y'all jokers, it's a time. I don't like living with people, and I don't like people living with me. When you come to my house and you visit, you got the Jesus anointing. That means 3 days. That's the max you can stay. All right. I might give you 7 days. All right. But at the end of the day, you need to have your own stuff. Get your stuff together. Number 2, pay all your bills on time and keep them either with a low balance or a zero balance. All right, this is going to help you. So when you look at your credit report and your balance is still high, that in that high balance, a lot of your points are wrapped up. They tied up into that particular high balance. Your particular points is tied up in your balance. You can read all the books. You can read my books. You can read the books on Amazon. You can go to Barnes and Noble and read all the books. But if you don't apply it and start applying what you read and what you know to be better, then it's not going to help you boost. You need a boost. You need a boost. You need a shove, a push. Some of y'all need a good push, all right, out of that safety zone, because you keep, I don't know who started that, stay at 30%. I don't like that. I tell all of my clients for the last decade, 2 decades, that you want to be under 10%. And whether you got a good job, some people say, well, I don't have a good job like that. We'll get you a second job. One time I worked for Yvette's Hair Design. I worked for another business. I was working for Domino's Pizza, and I was cutting hair out of the house. So at the end of the day, do what you got to do to get out of that hump so you'll never, ever have to go backwards again. So you got to get to a place where your credit is stable and keep climbing, and you make good, as Carly BD, whatever her name is. She said, make money moves. You need to make strategic money moves, because let me tell you, this pandemic is bad, but people are still being blessed. You don't see no Mercedes dealerships closing. You don't see the malls shutting down. You don't see these corporations are liquidating so they can keep their big, bonuses and different things of that nature. That's smart when it comes down to business. So if the companies in business are liquidating, that means they're getting rid of things they really don't need, and companies are letting their workers work at the house. So, they don't really have to pay for these big buildings anymore and different things of that nature. Things have changed. And so when the season have changed, you got to change. When the world has shifted, you shift and get, divine strategies. You got to get some type of divine strategies and divine ideas. And then when you get that, then you implement that. So number 1 is remove all negative accounts from your credit report. Number 2, pay your bills on time. Simple, but very powerful. All right. Keep them with a low balance. Number 3, all right, you have to look at how long you've had credit. Most of you, when you look at your credit report, you don't even pay that any mind, because most of my clients don't ever, probably about a few have ever, had a conversation, brought the conversation up about how long that they have credit. So actually, you don't want to have a blank credit profile because you're starting from ground zero. You're starting from the beginning, all right, the genesis of it. So at the end of the day, what you want to do, you want to make sure that you've got a lengthy credit history, at least over 2 years, at least over 3 years. All right. So the system, this is on an algorithm. An algorithm is a digital calculation that gets you the particular sum total of whatever it is, whether it's a credit score, whether it's a determination, whether you're approved or not approved, whether you're low risk or high risk. All right. Everything is on an algorithm. All right. You got to make sure that you give the system what it wants. Say it again. Say it again. Give the system what it wants. If you don't give the system what it wants, just like your collard greens are not going to come out good, your collards, if you get just a pot, you get a nice, pretty brand new pot, you get some water, you rinse the greens off, you don't clean them real good, you cut them up, put them in the pot, you cook the allotted time, but when you get ready to taste them, it has no season. You got to give the credit system what it wants. Because let me tell you this before I move on to number 4. This credit system is not right, it's flawed, it's crooked, it's broken, it's messed up. So you fighting a fight already before you get in the fight. You got to make sure that you know how to fight. Do not come to a gunfight with a butcher knife. It is not going to work. I believe if you're going to come to the gun, I ain't tell you going to get no guns, but if you're going to come to the fight, you got to come with the right ammunition so at least you'll have a chance to win. All right, touch somebody and say, I need to win. I need to win. I got to win this one. That's how you have to have that type of determination in your mind and in your spirit. You got to win this one. You might have lost the last one, but you need to win this one. You got to win this one. The last fight ought to teach you how to improve your fight when you get ready to fight this fight. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. All right. So you got to understand the credit length of time that you have is very important, whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. All right. I got to keep going. I'm doing good. So number 4, know the difference in, okay, here's 3 things. Know the difference. Let me say, Lisa, so you may have to change your eating habits. Absolutely. Absolutely. So what she's saying, you got to sacrifice. All right, you might have to sacrifice. Just like tonight, after I finish the show, I baked some turkey wings yesterday. They're awesome. You know, some of you seen my cooking show, Cooking and Credit, and all of that. So you know I can cook. I cooked some turkey wings yesterday, baked them, slow cooked them, got some rice, some French green beans, and all of that. Got green beans. All right, I got all of that stuff. So at the end of the day, after the show, after I take my bath, wind down, I'm gonna eat my stuff, wind down. All right, so it's gonna be good. So you're gonna have to do what you got to do. Now, I'm not going to jet out here and spend some money unnecessarily because I already got something that I'm prepared to eat. All right. Number 4, know the difference in 3 things. An installment account is called the installment account, a primary account, and a credit card. Installment account, primary account, and a credit card. Now, what is an installment account? An installment account is an account that you have to pay over a long period of time. All right. It's not a quick payoff. All right. So if you got a credit card for $300 and you go out in the weekend or vacation and you use the whole $300, pretty much you can pay that off and come back and pay it. You know, you should be able to pay it off. But if you take a long period of time, that's your business. But an installment account is considered your car payment, a mortgage, student loans, car payment, student loans. All right. What is that? I said mortgage, student loan, or car payments. All right. Mortgage, student loans, car payment. All of those are under the umbrella as an installment account. All right. Or a personal loan. Personal loan is also under that umbrella. Now, what is a primary account? Some of you are missing it because you go to the bank. Let's just say you have a blank credit profile. If you have a blank credit profile, there's nothing on it. You just got your name, your address up there, but you have no accounts, nothing. It's 0. And so it says no data. So when they get ready to pull it, they say, hey, you don't have any credit because there's nothing up there. And you try to do the slick way. You go get you 4 trade lines. And all 4 of those trade lines are $10,000 a piece. Y'all hearing me? Those trade lines are $10,000 a piece. So that's $40,000, 10,000. All right, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. You got $40,000. When you come to Wells Fargo, or when you come to Discover, or when you come to American Express, or whomever, if the underwriter is looking at your credit report, they can clearly see the writing and the verbiage that says authorized user. That's all a trade line is. It's the same thing. Trade line, I told you before, many years ago, that if you get it from a company, you pay for it, it's called a trade line. If your mama put you on her JCPenney's card for free, it's called authorized user. But both of them are the same thing. All right. So when the underwriter looks at your credit report and they see $40,000, they do not see any primary accounts. They just say they see JCPenney's, they see Macy's, they see Saks, they see Nordstrom's. All of those particular accounts are under the revolving category. Those are revolving because they know pretty much you're going to pay them off, not as long as you will, would a mortgage or a car payment. So when it says revolving, you constantly using it and you constantly paying it off. So it's revolving. It's going over and over again. An installment account is a lengthy time period. All right. Y'all got it. So when they look at it, they can know the difference between the installment, the primary, all right, or the installment, the primary accounts, or the revolving accounts. All right. I didn't share that with you, but I threw that in there. All right, so you need to know what the installment account, we just talked about that. And the primary account, what is it? It is the account that is solely owned by you. So that means your mama name ain't on it, my name ain't on it, your boo name ain't on it, whatever the case may be. It's not a joint account either. It's primary you. Now, you could be the primary and somebody be a co-signer, and you could be the primary, you could be the co-signer and somebody else could be the primary, vice versa. All right. So, it works. Let's just say you got Kim, and I almost said LaQuisha. You got LaQuisha, all right, and she can't get nothing right now because she's young. That's okay. And so LaQuisha's daddy say, I'm going to sign for you. So he's the co-buyer, but she's the primary buyer. So at the end of the day, it will show on Quisha's report, but it's also going to show on her dad's report. So be careful, because in my book, I talk about no co-signing. I'm going to touch that in a minute. All right. So installment account, primary accounts are the accounts that you solely own. Welcome on Instagram and welcome on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So at the end of the day, you got to have a variety. You're going to have to make sure that you have some installment, some primary accounts, and now lastly, some credit cards. Here's what's going to get you these 100 points really quick. You need some credit cards. Now that is not, let me say this, that is not for you that have not done the first step. All right, because I'm at number 4. But if you have not removed those accounts or majority of them, ain't no need. You need to worry, because something is going to decline you. Some company is going to decline you. You're going to have to remove. And it's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You're going to have to remove that negative stuff. Those late payments, previous late payments, or if you're like me as a business person, you want to remove everything that's negative off the credit report. All right. So you're going to need some credit cards. Hear me when I tell you, you get more points for open and active credit cards. I'm telling you, this is how you can beat that system and get you hundreds of points, 200. I've seen it many times. I see it on a regular basis with my clients. You can get hundreds of points if you have open and active credit cards and low balance. This is worth this whole show. You tuning in tonight. Open and active, that means it can't be a closed account. All right. And you all stop closing those credit card accounts. You should have never opened them. All right. Stop close. You will lose points if you close a credit card. You will lose points if you close a credit card. All right. If they close it, then you make them remove it, because you will lose 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 points. I'm telling you what I know. All right. FICO is not designed for you to win. If it was that easy, everybody would have credit, good credit, excellent credit. All right. So number 4, installment accounts, primary accounts, credit cards. Them credit cards, is where, and when somebody help you get a credit card, you need to be nice to them. You ought to be blessed. You should be shouting. You should forever be grateful, because what is happening when they put you on a credit card is shooting you ahead of time, where it should have took you years and years to get there. That's how the credit system works. They want to see you gravitate, but you know, we're in a different decade, in a different time, in a different era. We ain't got time like that. So I'm not blaming you for getting some authorized users or trade lines. I would get them too. But at the end of the day, when a person watches out for your raggedy behind, you need to understand that is a big, if you living in something, if you driving something, if your friend has helped you, if your brother has helped you, if your mama has helped you, you need to be grateful and show them that you're grateful. Not just walk around like, oh yeah, I appreciate it. No, love is not just what you say, it's what you do too. All right. And you can stop with all that stuff. You let your husband or your boo, you know, go buy somebody else's dinner, or go buy somebody else a car, and don't give you no car. And you sitting up there with them all of these years, and they don't show you some type of affection. You know, I'm an affection person. I talk with my hands, and I like to hug the right people. I don't be, you know, we don't hug too much with the COVID, but you know, before COVID, you know, we was doing a whole lot of hugging. I hug the right people because I want to embrace the people that's embracing me. Now, if I don't even know you, I will still try to help you. But at the end of the day, you cannot take somebody's goodwill and good intent and then just throw it to the ground and expect them to be there every time you need them. That's why some of the mamas and the daddies are upset with their children. It's not that they don't love you, but you keep throwing their love back on the ground. All right. So number 4, when I talked about installment accounts, primary accounts, credit cards, and then number 5, I talked about trade lines. I kind of tied that together. Trade lines and authorized users. All right. Trade lines and authorized users, same thing. All right. And so this is what I want to say. If you're trying to get a trade line, or you're saying, because I can hear somebody saying, well, I can't get no credit card. I tried and my score is about 475. Where does my score need to be in order to normally, with most companies, most banks, most finance companies, or most credit card companies, what type of score are they looking for? At least a 580. Some will let you slide with that 540 or 560, depending on what's on your credit report. But if you're trying to get 100 points or more to boost your credit score quickly, this is how you get it quickly. You need to make sure you start paying off stuff. And you need to get that secured card. A secured card is a credit card. Say it again, Rodriguez. That's my middle name. A secured card is a credit card. You just have to come up with the deposit. Once they see over a period of time, 5 months, 6 months, or a year, normally they will give that particular deposit back to you, and they will match it. Now, if you don't go with a company like that, that's your business. I wouldn't go with them. So you need to check out people before you actually use them. All right. What's up, cuz? So at the end of the day, make sure that you get these particular credit cards or secured cards, because they will boost your score. That's number 5. Number 6, use the right words when disputing. Lord have mercy. All right. It's in my book. I'm not going to spend a long time with that. You need to use the right words when you are disputing. You need all the legal codes. Search the internet. Go on Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Even President Obama was over that. He was instrumental with that particular organization. They will help you. You'll send in your letters. You can fill it out. You can talk to them over the phone or fill it out. It's called CFPB. All right. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So they help you when stuff is not right, inaccurate, stuff that is out of order, mixed credit files, all of that. Can you say all of that? All right. So you want to make sure that you have multiple resources. available to you to be able to help you in your disputing process. Because sometimes you can dispute it 4 times and the credit bureau will come back and say, unless you have additional proof, we're not going to investigate this matter anymore. And it'll be at a deadlock, but you can get around that and you can get over that too. That's when you need to call in some big guns. All right. That's what the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is, the Federal Trade Commission. That's what all of those information. So it's a lot more than you saying, well, hey, I disputed some stuff online. And a couple of things came off. All right. So you want to make sure you use the right wording, the right verbiage when you're disputing. All right. Because the right words will unlock some stuff for you and help you remove some stuff. All right. That's right. Okay. Lisa says this. That's right. But my secured card went to a regular credit. Absolutely. Went to a regular credit card and my dollars, the money went back to my account. You hearing it right now. See there? Lisa Williams. She said, that's right. That's right, Mr. Credit Doctor. My secured card went to a regular credit. This is exactly how it's supposed to work. All right. And then they gave her the money back. All right. Because normally they'll match it. So if you can put down more than $250 with your secured card, do that. So because you want to get the name of the game is, I've been waiting to say this. The name of the game is to get the highest credit limit that you can. Many of you just think because you get a 700 credit score, all your troubles, all my troubles will be over. Nope, 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 nope. You're still going to have a time. You're going to have a time. You're going to have a time. All right. Just because you get 700 doesn't mean it's going to make all your troubles go away. Now you got excellent credit, because they'll go to rocking their head. Well, my score is 660. And with your 660 crazy, uninformed self, you think just because the numeric number says 660 that you have good credit. It might not be that you have good credit, because you have high balances. You still have closed accounts that have balances. So it takes somebody like me to come in there and rip that stuff up and give you a reality check. All right. You know how they do, shake them in the movies and slap them and say, listen, there's much more, because actually a lot of the points are locked up in those particular errors that you have. That's what it is. Thank you. Thank you. They're locked up in the errors, the inaccuracies, the stuff that's not right. Your points is locked up in all those accounts. Come on here. Come on here. All right. So number 6, use the right word, the right verbiage when disputing. All right. Let me take a quick commercial so I can catch my breath, because, honey, I'm doing it tonight. All right. I'll be right back after these messages. We're back. Number 7, we're going to go. We've been talking about how to boost how do I get those 100 points? How do I make my score go up? Your score might be 520. Your score might be 475. How do I get it up? How do I get my score up? I'm telling you. All right. So number 7 was don't. This is number 7. We just talked about number 6. Use the right verbiage and the right wording. Number 7 is don't apply for items you don't really need. All right. Don't apply. You don't need a Corvette. Little red Corvette. You don't need one. If you say, especially you keep telling me, oh, I'm getting ready to buy me a house. You gonna make little red Corvette. You don't need no Corvette. You a good, do they make Saturns? Get you a good Saturn and sit your happy hips down. Crazy Saturn. Sit down. All right. You don't need no. I had a person told me 2 days ago, I'm getting ready to buy me a Bentley. I said, boy, you can't even hardly spell Bentley. You don't need, what do you need a Bentley for? And you still living in that good apartment. You don't need that crazy stuff. You how much? It's $3,000 to change a Bentley tire. I'm gonna leave that right there. Don't apply for any items you don't really need. You can't afford that. All right. Number 8, and I'm about to close. Number 8, no co-signing. Self-explanatory. The only way I would co-sign for is a few people on this earth. 2 of them. One of them is my baby brother, because he would chop off his arm before he messed me over. All right, my baby brother. The other person I know is 3 people, but she ain't gonna never want none. My grandmother, because she always had good credit. I wouldn't mind chancellor with her. And the other person is Aunt Reen in Miami, for Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My Aunt Reen, good as gold. Retired, good as gold. That's the only people that I would even dream about co-signing, because I know they're good for it. You got to know that they're good for it. If you married to a Colorado and you know they embellish and they don't know, they don't have money matters and they don't get it and they just spend, and I don't feel good today, I'm gonna go buy me a Versace shirt and I'm going to Neiman's and I'm going, some people don't know you. They're happy that you came in Saks and Neiman's so they can make their quota, because their manager been fussing in their ear about credit all day. You got me a credit, I need a credit. All right, so you got you some clients and put them in your book and stuff. Those people are there to do their job, but you're not doing anything but making your credit situation worse. All right, so number 8 is no co-signing. Number 9, all right, it's 10 things. Number 9, you must be patient. Some of y'all, the most rushing people I've ever seen, and you've been tearing up your credit for years and want to fix it in 30 days. I know the Lord, He will fix it after a while. After a while, it's going to take some time. I know the Lord will. All right. He's going to fix it, but you're going to have to be patient, boo. All right. You're going to have to be patient. All right. Number 10. This is my last one. Don't give up. Keep sending in your dispute letters. You're going to have to keep. If you get weary and if you get tired, I've been there. If you get frustrated, I've been there. If you give up, you're going to miss the opportunity that is due to you. All right. It is rightfully yours. I believe Bishop Jakes was preaching that on Sunday. It is rightfully mine. It belongs to me. It is mine. It is your job to have an accurate credit report. It is your right, I should say, to have an accurate credit report. It is what you deserve. But you're going to have to keep and stop coming up with all of these excuses. Keep track of your spending habits. Don't give up. All right. And not only that, I want to add this to number 10. Don't give up. Keep sending in your dispute letters, because that's what it's going to take. It's not that when you send it in the first time, because some of you say, well, I did the first 30 days with your company and it was okay. I had some success, but why didn't all of it come off? You're dealing with a man-made system, as I said earlier in the show. And then a lot of times it's simply not processed right. Whether they took 2 off and left the other 8, whether they took 5 off and left the other 5. All right. It is still not processed right, because they have to contact every individual company that you disputed. Now, the other 5 I already know. I ain't going to challenge this because I don't want to be sued. I know good and well I don't have no, even if I thought Casacello owed it, I don't have his file anymore. The company has shut down bankruptcy, or they just did a bad record keeping. So they know they don't have no proof if we had to go to court. But those other 5 is playing what you call that bluff. They're bluffing you. So what the credit bureau is going to let them electronically send a response back over says verified. All right. So the process was not processed correctly. All right. And that's where I don't like the law says a reasonable investigation, because what's reasonable to me might not be reasonable to Equifax. What's reasonable to me might not be reasonable for TransUnion and Experian, and that's the problem. All right. So don't give up. Keep sending those letters over and over. I don't care if you send it in 10 times, send it 10 more. I don't care if you send it in 20 times, because eventually that stuff is going to come off your credit report. Once it is handled properly to the things that really need to come off and the stuff that you know needs to be disputed off and is not yours, incorrect. You might have owed Sprint $1,000, but you don't owe them $3,000. You ain't talked that much, I hope, on those sales phones. All right. And then, like I said, lastly, call them. You can look them up. It's called CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So I'm going to go over all 10 and I'm out. All right. This is your checklist in order to get those 100 points, 200 points to boost your credit. Number one, remove all negative accounts and keep the documents and the letters when they are removed. That's number one. Number two, pay all your bills on time. Make sure you keep your balances low, keep them low or at zero. Number three, how long have you had credit? Look at that. Number four, know the difference between these three: the installment account, primary accounts, credit card accounts. Number five, you do have the option, if you know somebody or if you want to buy them from my company or home, but I don't really sell them anymore because a lot of times that people just abuse that and stuff, and they want you to let it sit on their credit report for months and months and months. And it's actually, if you buy from a company like mine, it's supposed to sit on a month or max 2 months. Most companies only do 30 days, but y'all jokers wanted to sit, so I just stopped it all together because you ain't messing up my good company. All right. Number five is trade lines or authorized users. So find your auntie, find your friend, find your boo or whomever that's got good credit. They ain't got to give you a credit card, but they can put you on as an authorized user. Number six, use the right verbiage, the right wording when disputing your accounts. Number seven, don't apply for items or accounts that you really don't need. Number eight, no co-signing. Number nine, you must be patient. Number 10, don't give up. Keep sending in your dispute letters. Know the laws and the codes, the statute of limitations for your city and state. That is how you get 100 points. You can 100 points or greater to boost your credit report. This is Costello James. I'm live in effect here at the Credit Show. All right. Come on here, Sheila. Come on here. We got it right here. Here it is. I'm going to let that sit right there for a little while. Let it sit, let it sit, let it sit, let it sit. All right. If you're on Instagram, you need to scurry over to YouTube, and we've already got it typed up. You can go back and you can play this show over and over again right there. Remove all negative accounts. Sheila, you better do it, my online secretary. Y'all say hello to Sheila. Sheila, congratulations. Great things happening. All right. Oh, somebody watching us, Teddy. All right, Teddy Pendergrass. Teddy Wells, what's going on? I like that last name, Wells. Aloha from Hawaii. All right, I always wanted to go to Hawaii. Aloha, aloha, aloha. All right, wonderful. Watching us from Hawaii. Amen, amen. All right, you got all 10 checklist items. You need to do this. All right. Oh, and let me touch on something while you're reading it on the screen. If you get an account that was removed, whether it was with my company or whether it fell off or whether it just happened to be, up there and then was gone, you don't know how it was removed, but it was removed. If you have an item on your credit report and it was a collection account and you're saying, well, it's been removed for at least 2 years, but all of a sudden it popped back on 3 years later. What is happening is either that particular company, which could not collect on the debt, has sold it to another collection agency. Most of you see the same wordings of the original collector or the original lender, and you feel like, okay, well, I'm going to call Lexington Law and I'm going to call Exceptional Credit. I want my money back because this stuff came back. No, ma'am, Pamela. Now, I can't speak for Lexington Law, but I can sure speak for Costello, with Exceptional Credit Repair, LLC. I can speak for me as far you ain't getting no refund, because then that means you try to pimp me out and work for free. They can sell it to another collection agency. That means, first of all, the debt was yours. Have you ever seen people that get mad with you and they know you just helped them out? First of all, it's your fault that you made the debt and you didn't pay it. Point blank. Come on, let's be real. Let's be honest. You made the debt. You didn't pay it. So the statute of limitation has ran out. So now we can get it off. Or there was some error. Thank the Lord. There was some kind of error. They was overcharging you because I ain't no fan of the creditors either. They done messed you up anyway. So you never should have signed that contract and paying a 31% interest rate or a 19% interest rate. That should be illegal. But at the end of the day, if they sell it to another collection agency, the new collection agency can put it on your credit report. And here's the thing, even if they do, don't freak out, boo. You got your manual. You got what it takes. If it came off the first time, and I'm going to leave you with this. If it came off the first time, oh, it's going to come off. That's how you win a battle. What encourages me, it gets hard. Oh, times get hard a lot of times. And then you feel like, oh my God, it seems like you're just going through by yourself. But if you made it out of the last trial and tribulation, there's a difference between a trial and tribulation. But if you made it out of point A, you're going to get to point B. You might not be moving as fast as your sister, but you're still moving. All right. So at the end of the day, if it came off the first time, somebody needs to hear this. If it came off the first time, you need to say this tonight. I will have good credit. I will be an entrepreneur. I will be the lender and not the borrower. I don't like borrowing from my friends and relatives and stuff. I don't like going to the restaurant and can't pay for my own meal. You will get ahead. You will get ahead. It don't matter if you got to eat by yourself, if you got to buy the house by yourself, whatever you got to do, fight for your rights. Lord have mercy. You better fight. If nobody ain't fighting for you, fight for yourself. You better fight fight that devil. Y'all know y'all like to fight anyway. Fight him in the spirit. You got to fight him. All right. And you got to keep with the tenacity. It's a word called stick-to-itiveness. You got to stick to it. Don't give up on the credit disputing system. All right. You will have excellent credit. All right. I know this ain't dropping it like it's hot and all of that stuff, but it is dropping it like it's hot because I'm dropping some good information on you. All right. So thank you, Teddy. I appreciate that. All right. So until next week, this same time, 9 o'clock, this is your boy, the credit doctor, the credit advisor. I want to say I love every one of you. I'm praying for you. You're going to get that credit score that you've been, but you're going to have to put some work. You're going to get that credit score that you want. You're going to have to put the work in. All right. You're going to have to do the work. Until next time, I want y'all to be blessed. All right. And we're going to do the Cooking and Credit show every first Tuesday of the month. All right. Every first, because it's a lot trying to cook and talk about credit. So we're going to do that again. So don't think that that's going anywhere. But my new segment is you can't afford it. Don't do it. Ain't no need of you buying 3 houses and you only can afford 1. Ain't no shame in your game. Get that 1 and be blessed and do what you got to do. Until next time, I want you to be blessed, and I want y'all to continue to treat people right. Don't do people wrong. Until next time, this is your boy, Casacella James. Don't forget to like, subscribe to YouTube. Type in Exceptional Credit Repair. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. Until next time, be blessed.